You're listening to the Good Question Podcast with Richard Jacobs. Our goal is to make each of our guests exclaim, that's a good question. I don't know the answer. Because when that happens, it means you, the listener, may be inspired to learn more beyond the interview and to ask great questions yourself that lead to new insights. In this podcast, we cover historical and current anthropology, comparative religion, and history. Welcome, and let's get started.
Hello, this is Richard Jacobs with the Good Question Podcast. I've got a really cool guest today, Shawn D. Nelson. He's a best-selling author. He has a podcast called Let Me Save You 25 Years, which sounds promising, especially if you're older. When you're younger, you probably won't listen to it as my guest, but when you're older and you realize, whoops, then you'll probably listen to it more. So I look forward to doing so. Shawn's known best because he's the founder behind Lovesac. You know, those huge, styrofoam filled, whatever they're filled sacks that you could flop onto. I've seen those for many, many years. In college, we had them, and they've been around a very long time. I think it's surprisingly long. So welcome, Shawn. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, great to be here. Excited to chat.
Well, quick question. How long has Lovesac been around? Because it seems to be like 30 years or so.
Almost 27 years.
Wow. That's really cool. And maybe a quick story on how that was created. Was it your idea and how did it come to life?
Yeah, look, I'm 10 days out of high school, 18 years old in Salt Lake City, Utah, and just watching The Price is Right, a little bit bored, had this dumb idea, like how funny would it be to make a beanbag like this big, me to the TV, the whole floor, that size. And turned off the TV, drove down to Joann's Fabrics, bought 7 yards of tan vinyl and 7 yards of black vinyl, because I'm guessing that's what you make a beanbag out of. Brought it home, cut it out, tried to sew it up, jam them on a sewing machine, took it to my neighbor who was a seamstress. She finished sewing it, put a zipper in it, and it took me 3 weeks to stuff it with, I tried beanbag beads, but couldn't possibly buy enough of them at Michael's. So old packing peanuts, old blankets, and finally our camping mattresses, the piece of yellow foam with a bungee cord around it, chopped those up on a paper cutter and stuffed that thing. And everywhere I took it, everyone loved it. Fill the back of a truck and drive-in movies, camping, events, whatever. People were like, where did you get that? And it would be 3 years before I finally made one for a friend, and then their friend wanted one, and Lovesac as a company was born. In 1998, opened our first store in 2001 in Salt Lake City, Utah. And now we operate 300 stores, have 2,000 employees, and do about, almost $750 million in sales every year.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah, I keep hearing the song from the B-52s, the Love Shack. It would be funny if one day, or maybe you have, done a collab with them. Instead of the Lovesac, it sounds almost the same,
Oh, trust me, if I had $1 for every time someone thought of that, I wouldn't have had to raise money. But it's a great idea. We someday must do it, but we still have not.
Yeah, that's really cool though. Wow. So what's your main focus today? Is it the podcast, or what else do you do? What else are you doing to keep yourself going? Because I'm sure it may sound ridiculous to other people, but I bet you're probably like a serial entrepreneur and you're bored after a while.
I have gone through every stage. We startup mode, raised venture capital, raised private equity, grew the company, had to go through complete turnaround at some point, been through it all. Now we're a public company traded on NASDAQ, and it's a lot of fun, and it's just evolved over time. And my ambition now, eventually, look, I've thought about leaving 1,000 times. I've thought about doing other things, investing in other things, whatever. But Lovesac has kept growing and evolving. We sell mostly couches now. You might have seen them on TV. You can add to them, grow them, rearrange them forever. Is the couch you could have the rest of your life if you want to. And the Sactionals business has become most of our sales, and it's led us to other couch designs and other designs for the home. And basically, we're at this place where we think we can turn Lovesac into, a Nike, an Apple, a Lulu, like a big brand, an international brand, a legendary brand that will make all kinds of different things that we'll be proud of, and that our customers love us for lots of reasons that I can explain. But we have
like you have like a Lovesac where, let's say it's a 2-seater and you can pull out a holder in the middle, and then the two of you can get closer. Wherever sitting there, like you go from dating to more possibilities, with the same piece of furniture.
That's kind of what Sactionals are. You could buy a bunch of feet, buy a bunch of sides, build 10,000 different couches out of them. And it's a really cool, become the best-selling sectional sofa in the United States of America for these reasons. And more importantly, it's true sustainability, right? This is the kind of thing you can invest in, continue to grow, change. Like I have pieces that are 18 years old, made with brand new pieces, now wearing their 10th set of covers, and they can change with the seasons, change with the years, and you can keep it fresh and new. So that's the path to true sustainability. We call it Design for Life. And it's the reason that we have a shot at building a brand that we'll really love. Because most products, as you know, die the day after you bring them home and decompose slowly in your life, making you replace them every year sometimes. And we're anti that. And I think that's a brand that I think people have grown to love, will continue to love, and we can build on that.
Well, what happens over time, though? I mean, I can't imagine, like, if I have a Lovesac couch or something, I was thinking the material would get squished over time, and I'd have to maybe put more in and make it more dense to have the same level of, like, springiness or sport. What happens to the Lovesacs after a while?
Well, so our couches are made more similarly to like a traditional couch in the sense solid wood frame, steel springs, so the core pieces can last a lifetime because the way we build them. The cushions as a whole, like right now, we just met. I bet you have a couch in your life. And I bet if I challenge you to, hey, just go get a new cushion for it because it's getting tired. It's been 6 years or something. Could you? Where did you buy it? What model is it? Do they still make it?
Oh, no.
Okay. So there you go.
Go through a lot of couches because my dog used to eat holes in them.
There you go. Ours are a click away. And if your dog chewed a hole in any piece of ours, you could buy one cup for that one piece and you'd have a brand new looking couch. We never drop our fabrics. We allow you to buy these standard built covers forever. Just the whole business is built around this idea of forever, and pieces and parts and add-ons and new covers and all these things are available to you. And so it really is a couch you could have the rest of your life if you want to. And that's the backbone of our brand.
That's cool. You've gone through a lot of couches with kids and dogs and all that over the years. Like we probably had to get a couch like every 2 years at least because they keep getting destroyed,
Totally.
But there was a book I read many years ago called Cradle to Cradle, and it was an engineering book, but their intent was, how do you design a product that can be completely recycled and turned back into that product again? Like maybe a manufacturer would have a buyback or whatever, where the person at their home could reconstitute it completely. And it sounds like that's the way you're going.
That's exactly right. In fact, pretty soon we'll be the only furniture dealer that has used furniture. We're working on taking trade-ins. We already have a sale program. But the key is mass standardization. And that's what we achieved with Sactionals. And that's, again, the backbone of the brand and the reason I think this brand can become something much larger than even what we have grown it into today.
Yeah, that's cool. You have different kinds of fills, or what have you settled on as the best fill, as you could say? It's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, many options. So the sacks, the original giant beanbags, are still shredded polyurethane foam, like what you'd find in your couch cushions, but shredded up like popcorn. And they last forever. I still meet people that have the ones I sold them in college because they're not beanbag beads. They don't compress over time. They really last a long time. The Sactionals, again, built like traditional sofas, but better built because it's the only thing we build. So we do a really good job of building them to last. And yeah, we do have different fill options and the key is quality. Like our stuff is not cheap. It's quite expensive. But again, you're investing in something you could have the rest of your life if you choose to.
I noticed on couches, I like to sit up very straight. A lot of the couches, you're reclining really heavily. I don't like that. And then I'm just like average height, but I've seen people that are really tall, 6'4", 6'5", and the pan of the couch you sit on, I guess that's what I'll call it, the seat or the pan. Their legs can't go down at a 90-degree angle. They still sit against the back of it. And then you get short people that they could probably put their whole leg up straight on it. Is there any need to customize the dimensions so that they get according to your height and weight, or at least height and the length of your legs and all that you can have like a semi-custom couch for you?
Yeah. Believe it or not, Sactionals are, again, you buy a bunch of seats, buy a bunch of sides, build anything you want, but these rectangle seats can be arranged deep way or long ways. And this is very different, how you sit. But what's neat is that the sides they're interchangeable. They can be an arm or a back. And you just have to look at, it's difficult for me to explain like this. You'd have to look at the videos to understand because they're very different than typical Sactionals that you've seen. but it allows that kind of customization. In fact, seat by seat, you could be deep and long and have all kinds of different configurations depending on how you sit. And now we offer different arm styles and back styles as well that will allow you to change that pitch. So there really are just a lot of really cool ways to customize it, even though, again, it's the same standard product, which is where you get all the benefits from of being able to add to it, grow it, change it, upgrade it over, because the core pieces never change. Like I said, I have 18-year-old ones mated with brand new ones, mated with our Stealth Tech sound system that you can also add over time, all kinds of stuff. So we've done this platform, and that's the reason Lovesac has grown like it's grown.
That's really cool. Now that I think about it, I think a Lovesac just opened up in the mall near me. I'm in Austin. I'll have to go in there and check it out,
Please.
Yeah, that's great. I can see like if you have to move, you don't need to, you can just assemble the couch and just essentially, throw cushions in a box or something. If you need to clean it, you could take it apart and clean stuff individually. Like if one part gets stained or whatever. What happens if you spill something on, I don't know, one of the pieces? Like, can you open it up and wash the insides, or is there no need for that? Or can you order just insides to stuff a particular piece if you need?
Yeah, the insides stay pretty clean because our covers are all changeable. They're heavy duty, but they're all changeable, removable, washable to begin with. So, there's really a lot of durability and washability that way. But yeah, the insides can also at least be scrubbed out. They're really durable. So, you could take them outside and house them down if you really needed to. I don't think it's ever come to that. For the most part, the covers or most of the abuse.
Since you have the modularity now, is there, I don't know, do you have like any online software or anything that gives you ideas? Maybe you didn't, how do I accommodate my living room? It's really narrow, or, I want to have like an extra guest or two over. How can I modify my stuff so that they can sit, comfortably?
Yeah, we have this really cool online configurator for Sactionals where you can make any adjustment you want, deep, long, wide. You can, just by rotating a piece, you can add or subtract 6 inches to the length or depth of a couch. And we also have our stores, the same thing. And the stores have these cool magnetic blocks that you play with. They're kind of like a little bit like Legos, but magnetic Legos that you can arrange and rearrange that represent the Sactionals and just customize it to anything you want. But the best part is you're never stuck with it. Even if you customize it, you still rearrange it the next moment. And that's really where Sactionals just dominate. And that's the reason, again, they've become so popular and so prolific.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. Have you seen any users make any really strange or cool configurations you haven't thought of?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you were to plug, Sactionals, I don't know, clever Sactionals configurations into Google, you would see hundreds and thousands of pictures that are just amazing.
Yeah, very, very cool. So, I mean, yeah, it seems like you've covered a lot of different angles. Where's the project going from here, you think? What can you say?
Yeah, look, Sac is a vibrant growing company, one of the fastest growing companies in home or furniture, has been for years. And we're investing into new rooms of the home, new realms where we'll solve similar problems that you didn't know you had with product that's built to last a lifetime and designed to evolve as your life changes. And that's our secret sauce, and we're really proud of it. And so just keep an eye on Lovesac. Definitely, if you're anywhere near a store, pop in there. It will surprise you what we do, and we can grow and change and evolve.
Okay. Yeah, would it be okay to talk about your podcast just briefly? Let me say in 25 years. So yeah, tell me about that. What's the idea there?
Look, I wrote a book a couple years ago at our 25th year anniversary called Let Me Save You 25 Years. So it's mistakes, miracles, and lessons from the Lovesac story. And it's a great story. Lovesac has a crazy saga. Like I gave you the very short version, but winning Richard Branson's reality TV show, I won $1 million on TV early on, to complete bankruptcy, start over in the middle, to everything in between, and now on NASDAQ, having 10x the company since going public. Lovesac's been a crazy, great ride, and it's a great story, but the lessons and the mistakes I made along the way and the lessons from those have been very poignant. So I continue that discussion on my podcast every week. I'm very proud of it. I bring you the smartest people on earth. I mean, in business, from Mark Cuban, Gary Vaynerchuk, Sarah Blakely, on down the list. Sports, I've had Gronk on, just successful people. A little bit different than interview style. I choose a topic with them, one of my Shawnisms. Since, just yesterday recorded a podcast on a Shawnism, stay cool and be kind. And so on down the list, these lessons that I've learned, and you can learn from some of the most successful people in the world on the podcast. Let me save you 25 years. So really proud of it.
Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. And I'm glad, even though I don't have $1 billion company, I'm glad you're okay to come on my podcast too. That's really great.
Hey man, we're all just trying to put out good vibes and good content for the world. And I'm proud of you for doing it. And I'm doing the same.
Do you have your book on sale at the Lovesac stores or just online?
Yeah. You can find it at Lovesac stores and find it at Amazon, find it everywhere. And the podcast, of course, everywhere you listen to podcasts.
Okay. And the best way for people to find out more, it sounds like, is go experience it. So yes, I'd recommend, I think, to do it myself, which I will. But now I'm a lot more excited to go into the Lovesac store and check stuff out. So I encourage listeners to do so too. Sounds really so cool what you've done with it. It's great.
Yeah, please check.
Okay. Any other things that you'd want to cover, or you think that's a good brief overview of what you've been doing for now?
No, I think you nailed it. Thank you.
Okay. Well, very good, Shawn. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast. I appreciate it very much.
Nice to meet you. Appreciate it.
If you like this podcast, please click the link in the description to subscribe and review us on iTunes.
Thank you for listening to the Good Question Podcast. Please email support@thegoodquestionpodcast.com if you have any referrals to great guests for us to interview. Visit thegoodquestionpodcast.com to hear more interviews. And please help us spread the word by rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to this podcast.